Beth Flanagan way is you need to prepare. So like you've said, this is probably already going to be airing after the event, but there's going to be many more coming up as well in different locations. So you need to plan. Don't just turn up and just be very, very massively overwhelmed by all the stands and all the people. Make sure you download the brochure before, whether you print it out or look at it on your phone or whatever, and make sure you look at the speakers, which ones you want to attend, and look at the vendors, the ones that you want to talk to that's going to be relevant to your business. If you don't, the day just goes away with you, doesn't it? And then before you know it, it's over and you've not been able to speak to the people that you want to have spoken to.
Brilliant.
And trainers.
And trainers.
Yeah, comfortable shoes there. It's the way.
Hey, Aaron, trainers.
Mess that one up, didn't I?
For those that aren't here to see, Aaron's wearing smart shoes.
He's got the poshest shoes on ever. It looks like he's going to a nightclub.
I had a sponsorship clash. That's what it was.
No, for someone that goes to so many events,
Exactly.
he's really poorly prepared for this.
A lot of people, I'm sure if you speak to vendors on stands, you have a lot of people who walk around who studiously avoid eye contact, which I still don't really understand.
Yeah.
It's like you've come to an event. So I would have thought you're coming here to learn something, which you're either listening to someone talking about a particular subject, or, I don't know what, Planergy does. So I'm just stand over here.
Yeah.
How am I ever going to find out what they do? I might as well talk to them. I'm not going to get eaten by the salesperson. So I'm always surprised that people don't ask you what you do.
Yeah.
I think I saw you at a digital accountancy show, and there was one lady walked around and she was literally doing like a minute at every stand. And I think that's probably, that's sensory overload.
I was going to say, yeah.
That's probably almost the right answer in that, okay, I've done my scan.
So it's like speed dating at that point.
It is, but you just go, so what is it? Okay, I get that. I'll walk
60
away.
seconds are done.
Yeah, but it is. But then also you can kind of go, is that something I need? And you can think about it separately. So I think there is an element of you have to be a little bit less shy than you normally are.
Yeah.
And you have to go and say, what's in this for me? Why does that work for me? What is it?
Yeah.
Okay, there isn't anything there. Fine. And say no.
Yeah.
Perhaps that's the most important one, because most people seem to say yes and really mean no.
The biggest thing I think is make sure you come here with intention. And when you do come away with it, you've got bags of swag, you've got emails coming into your inbox. Dedicate a little bit of time to really sit back and understand, okay, I've spoken to all these firms. Which ones are my short-term sort of must-haves? And which ones are the long-term nice-to-haves? And then, attack it a bit more strategic that way.
Well, my pro tip is that every conversation that I have, I capture it. I capture the conversation, I write it down, because I've got a memory like a fish. So little plug for Asana. I love Asana. It's a great tool. So I capture that. And then I'll go back to the go back to the office. I'll go back home, and just work through those things actually. And then what you find, I think, is you start to piece 2 or 3 different threads together. And then but with Asana, it's great because you can just instantly turn that into actions. And also I can start to assign those to different people as well. So, I had a great conversation today with a very well-known accounting publication that wants to talk to us about a very interesting product that we're launching in a few weeks, hopefully. And so, instantly I'm able to capture that conversation. Yeah. Link in our PR team on that, and automatically. And I think, that for me is I guess I would do that. I work for a technology company, and that's what we do. It's how do you increase productivity and how do you use technology to kind of be your superpower? Really be superhuman, and how we approach things. And so that's just one great example of how do you use technology to do that. So I'd say technology is a great way of capturing what you talk about and turn it into action.
That's clever, isn't it? And that's what we're about, right? We're looking for technology help there.
There's a lot of planning that goes into it beforehand in terms of prepping the team, but also making sure we do everything from tablets. So a lot of it is around the special offer that we'll normally have some kind of special offer on the day. Yeah. To activate that offer, you need to book in for a certain meeting, which we'll be running for the next few weeks. So a lot of the capture happens through meetings and bookings. Yep. But obviously we have the scanner apps and things. So the idea is that, actually it starts on the train home tonight. Everything gets downloaded, everything gets organized, everything has to have comments, notes, so we know exactly who's speaking to who, when and where. Because really, these events aren't cheap.
No, you've got to make value of them.
And you need to squeeze every bit you can out of it. So, but I think the first time we went to one of these events, I don't think we did it that well, but you learn very quickly. Yeah, you learn very quickly. Planning for an event like this, in my head, happens probably 2 months ago.
Right.
And then it comes to the team maybe a week or two before, and then it be able to then say the real work starts as soon as it shuts, we get on the train and then
Start processing
and then we start
that
processing.
data.
Yeah, because you like, with anything in sales, the heat of a lead, like, it starts really warm. Every day that passes, it gets cooler and cooler. And somebody who came to your stand and saw it and thought it was like so cool, suddenly in a week they can't quite remember that cool feeling. And so time is so important. So we don't waste like a second, essentially.
From us as a seller, is definitely the scanning, and the follow up with the emails, and talk to the people before. Say to them, "Do you mind if we follow up with an email?" Don't just go and do it, because if you just go and do it, they'll just junk you and block you and spam you.
Yeah.
If they generally are interested, we make little notes about Dave would like us to call him in 2 weeks after he comes back on holiday. And I think they prefer that rather than just, oh no, I'm going to get 6 every software under someone's spamming me.
I just turn my phone off the next day if I've been around getting scanned, because I just know it's going to go mental.
Yeah. People don't mind you following up, because we're all very, very busy. Accountants are always busy.
Yeah.
But as long as it's just a bit of case saying, like, would you mind if we give you a call? Yeah.
It is just go away and actually carve out that time to actually do it and apply it.
Isn't it, right?
It's all right for me. It's just me.
Yeah.
But if you've got a team, then you have to have a think and how you're going to apply it, and just carve out that time to actually make sure.
And that's what you're going to do, yeah?
That's what I'm going to do. Carve out some time.
You're on camera now saying that, so
I'm accountable.
you're going to be accountable to it. Exactly.
I think what's really important is just to, like, there's a lot of information going on here, right? Let's kind of come, first of all, with an idea of what it is you want to take away. Just do your discovery, find it, and then take it away. Like, for me today, it's about, how do I move my business from being me as the business owner to now starting to develop a business. So there's some really good talks today about building a business and how you separate yourself. So I've taken some key takeaways on that. My initial offering was, you're getting me.
Yep.
Now it's more important maybe to start developing what you're getting instead.
Mm-hmm.
So my key takeaways from Accountex today is going to be, how do we start that journey?
Yep.
Start a new plan with a new end game.
And have you kind of scheduled time to sit down this week or next week or something to go, right, what were those takeaways? How do I implement those?
Well,
how do I start planning that?
It's tax season for us over in Ireland at the
So
minute.
no.
So it's January for you, right? So, but certainly they won't be forgotten. And probably in the new year, I will have a more of a strategic plan about what I want to do for 24 and 25.
Yeah. So once you've kind of got that idea percolated for a bit, time allows, and you'll crack on.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
I think as a visitor, it's don't overwhelm yourself. I think it's really easy to go in and be like, I want to see these 7 talks and I want to go and see these 10 vendors and then I want to see everything else that's new. And I think, don't overwhelm yourself.
Yeah.
Think about the talks that you really want to go to, the talks that you saw on the agenda and went, I need to see that, and go and see those and take your notebook and write down those action points and block out the day after, please. Please block out the day after so that you can go and revisit that stuff, right? And from an exhibiting perspective, I think, again, it's almost similar, but it's don't overwhelm your visitors.
Yeah.
They don't need 50,000 screenshots on your stand, and they don't need a full 30-minute walkthrough demo. They need to know what you do, what pain you solve, and maybe a nice something to walk away with.
So for me, I think you have to come with a clear set of goals. What do I want to get out of it? If you want to get out of it education, make sure you go to all the sessions you need to get out of it, and make a list of action points. And if the session's good, and if the people on the panel or the talk are good, they'll give you or encourage you things to take away. So the social media panel I did with Stuart, Francesca, Rachel and Ashley.
Great lineup.
It wasn't bad, was it? I would say, right, like if you get a really good selection of guests, then like they will bring the audience, and then everyone looks good because of it. And they're a great selection again. But what we did is we were like, the panel was about building business through social media. So the first thing to do for that is actually do something on social media.
Yep.
So we got everyone to get their phones out, take a photograph of us on stage, and we waved and everything, and then post it with a comment, tag us, done. So you've now made your first step towards making that social media post. So we gave them an action and a way to do it. Every conversation should have an action way. So you need to make a list of what's important, what you want to do, what you want to get out of it. Make sure you achieve that. Make sure you take action points away from each talk. Bring a notebook, make notes. And if there's a bit of software you like, fantastic. Don't demo it on the day.
Yeah.
Don't sit there for an hour and demo software because you're not going to remember any of it the next morning. Book a meeting post the event and do it then. Have a conversation. Go, hey, look, this could be interesting for us. Let's book it afterwards.
Yeah.
As a vendor, I appreciate that more as well because it helps me manage my time better, and I can do 50 small demos, and then all the people that are really interested. And I think the last thing for me is don't be afraid to say no.
Yeah.
There's so many people that think because someone demoed to you on a stand or gave you a bit of swag or spoke to you that you have to go, yeah, okay, I'll do the demo, and then you don't. And actually, do you know what? If it's not suitable for you,
Just say, because no one wants to waste their time.
no, and it's that honest relationship. So the whole thing should be an honest relationship from the reason you're there to everything else. So, I think if you do all of that, then you can get some really actionable things to take away. If you don't and you're just here for a jolly, that's okay as well.
But then don't blame the event.
But then don't blame the event and go, what did you get out of it? Well, nothing. What did you go in with?
Yeah.
What do you plan to get out of it? And if the answer was you didn't go in with anything, you didn't plan anything, well, guess what? You're not going to get anything out of something.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's really important to, if there's something particular you're looking for, come with a shopping list and shop for that item.
Yeah.
If not, I didn't have a particular shopping list for today. So let's go around and find something new that you haven't looked at before. Now, I know from client surveys that I've done that, we've always had excellent results across the board from all of our clients, but our weak spot, if we've got one, is communication.
Yeah.
So I've had a look down. I found an app which will allow me to use WhatsApp, but with a dashboard so that everyone in the client can have a look, in the practice can have a look.
I think I know which one you're on about. Yeah, looking good. Yeah. Awesome.
So that's my target now, is to go back and look at that, see if that is actually going to work for us, have a demo, and then think about how we can bring that client communication score up.
Amazing. So from accountability point of view, how are you going to implement that? What's your plan then? Have you got like a time frame in mind or anything like that? When you watch back this podcast, have you keep yourself accountable?
I normally like to say in 3 months' time. So when I go back, I diary things, and in 3 months' time, need to at least have put some demos in place and made some decisions. Then I say 6 months to implement something. It's usually what I work on.
Brilliant. Absolutely love that.
I think if you set too short a deadline, the chances are you miss it and think, oh, well, I've missed it, so I won't do it now.
One thing we make sure we do is we don't book in too many demos. So we're really careful that the demos are right for us, that if we're booking them in, because you can waste a lot of time otherwise. So we'll go away and talk about that and say, who do we really want the demos with? And then it's again, sort of, we've met up with everyone. So we've arranged from one-to-ones going forward with people that we think we might be able to progress the business with by doing some sort of collaboration or whatever. So yes, arranging those one-to-ones afterwards.